up looking for the broccoli.
The kids to bed, dad's home. We are the DWO podcast, representing the dad world order. I am the handsome head of household, Mr. Magnificent Mike Martin. And with me, as always, the rest of this patriarch pack. We got the big bad bearded daddy. He is Big Rig Eric Murphy.
Honk if you hear me, baby.
And he is the perpetual mid-carter and the two-time world record holder. He is the wrestling t-shirt guy, Cephas.
Cowabunga, indeed. It's day 1189, and we're rocking a collar and elbow. Wrestling is for the children shirt.
Hell
Nice.
Yeah, brother. Hell
Shout
yeah.
out, no.
Well, as Mr. Magnificent said, we are the DWO podcast, and tonight we have with us a very special guest. He is the one, the only Denver Drake. Sir, how the heck are you?
I'm doing great. I've been wanting to do this for a while, and now we're finally making it happen. I tried doing the horn thing. It didn't work for me. I don't know. I guess I don't get a sound effect like you guys do.
There's only one horn here,
It's
brother.
all right. It's all right.
He is the big rig, you know.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's always funny too, because with my little name tag down there, I can't tell you how many people have been like, "Are you just like smoking the entire show?" And I'm like, "No, that's the smoke from my tire treads on my name tag."
Oh, I see it now. It now.
It's very funny.
It's hardcore vaping.
That's right. Well, heck yeah, man! Thanks for coming on. We're glad you reached out to us. Glad to have you on. How things going? What do you got going on?
It's been pretty good. Of course, we got a lot of stuff coming up, NWF wise, that I'm going to be at, like this Saturday. It's our annual women's show that we do every year.
Heck yeah.
And then next Saturday after that, it's Fight for the Future, 7th annual one, big Future Stars show, which of course I'm going to be featured on. Just hitting up training whenever I can. Been in the gym a lot more recently, which I'm very happy about. I feel very good recently when it comes to wrestling stuff. I feel like every time I'm in the ring, I learn a little bit more. So I don't know. It's rare that I feel this confident about stuff like this. But I mean, my most recent showings, each time I learn a little more, and I'm very happy. I'm very excited going into the 12th.
Heck yeah, man! That's awesome. Hitting the gym, we've covered that before with other NWF stars. And as long as you're hitting the gym more than that Noah Gabriel guy, I'd say you're doing the right thing.
I knew he was gonna come up.
He's soft as souffle.
He is.
I feel like he'd be real comfortable to use as a pillow, though.
I'll let you know.
So, hello, Courtney.
How you doing?
Noah's been on what 4 times now at this point.
Yeah,
Sorry
I'm sorry about that, guys.
Well, we do what we can.
See, I think the thing is we bonded over music before we realized just how crappy of a person he is,
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
he's still in my DMs all the time, sending me reels and stuff like that, and I'm just like, dude, chill out. What are we doing?
I don't think he's that bad, you guys. I kind of like Noah.
We love our boy Noah.
We love Noah.
He's a good boy.
Good boy.
So
that's a good feller, my good time
you
boy.
are one of the future stars of NWF. How long have you been doing this?
Well, Well, I've been around NWF for a good while now. I've been coming to shows since I was about 12.
Okay.
Okay.
And I said it in a promo. I was at an NWF show. I think it was in Ludlow. It was name drop names here. So it was Star Rider versus David Tyler. Of course, you guys know those two. You know how good they are. Mainstays at the NWF, and I'm just watching, and it's like obviously I've seen wrestling on TV. I've seen all that, but you guys know more than most. Obviously, going to a live wrestling show, there's nothing like it, man.
Nothing.
So I'm sitting there, 13 probably, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is it right here. This is what I want to do. I want to do this, and I want to do it here. So fast forward 5 years. I think I walked into Bone Crushers the Thursday before the Sizzler 2023. So the second to last one. I walked in. Obviously, I didn't sign up because it was day before Sizzler. There's a lot going on. Didn't sign up the week after because someone was out of town. But then it was August 29th, 2023 that I signed the contract and I started training. So ever since then, it's been pretty consistent at Bone Crushers. Obviously, I've had the privilege of meeting a lot of good people. I've sat under a large amount of fantastic learning trees since I've started. And it's been fun, and it's only gotten more fun, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's so cool, man. I mean, just like you said, the lineage of the history, and I mean, how many absolute legends have just walked through those doors and put sweat on those mats. So you're in good company.
Absolutely, man.
So, as a fan himself who also went into training, I got to ask: did you have the same difficulties I did in learning the difference between? They're not just out there doing moves. And did the psychology take you a second? You know what I mean? Because when I first started, I thought you go out there and you do 10 moves and that's it. You know, I don't know. It was so procedural to me when I first started. I didn't really think about the story behind it. Is that something that you've also had a struggle with, or has that been easy for you?
I mean, if I'm being honest, when I walked in, I had the idea that I knew everything about everything. But obviously I learned that wasn't the case. I feel like I was very similar in that regard of wanting to pay more attention to the moves that I was doing. And early on, I feel like that's a little more important. But as I go on and as I'm there more, it's more about, why you're doing them, where to put them, why you're doing them in certain scenarios. But no, I definitely do feel like at first I was like, all right, I want to do this. I want to do a choke slam. I want to powerbomb people. Obviously, I won't be doing that anytime soon. But that was definitely as I went on, I realized that there's definitely more to it, a whole lot more to it.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about this today because the WWE, they've been releasing like match replays where they get the wrestlers to watch the match together. And they just today released Shawn Michaels and Undertaker where they're watching their WrestleMania 25 event. And it's just like they're talking about it during it, like, oh, right here during this moment, I said, yeah, we got him. You know what I mean? It's just like little bits of psychology that they talk about and had me thinking, like, man, if I'd have known how deep wrestling was, I think I'd have been a lot better in training. Like, I had like a video game mindset. Like, I got to go out here, do these things, knock the other person down. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think that's probably why I'm on this side and you're on that side. But, it is good. So you got less than 2 years in you. Is it? Because you said 23, right? August of 23. Golly.
Yep. Started training August 2023. Had my first match in April of last year at Fight for the Future. Funnily enough,
okay.
And been relatively consistent on Future Star shows since then. So yeah, I'd say April was my debut. So almost a year now of actual wrestling.
Hell yeah. That's got to be fun getting them first early reps. And have you gotten any chance to work with our buddy Tim and Nelly yet, Mr. Pompano Joe?
Well, I mean, at training, absolutely. He's the head trainer down at Bone Crushers, and as of recently, I've made it a point to whenever I get the chance, if I get there early and Pomp's up in the ring, I hop up with him. We roll around for a little bit. Every now and then, I'll mess up on something. He's quick to correct me, which I appreciate. I think there's a lot of guys who kind of take that as a little I don't know, how do you describe it? Demeaning, maybe.
Yeah.
But no, I I think Roger said it the other night. If Pomp wasn't stopping you and telling you what you did wrong, it means he wouldn't care. But it's clear that he cares, and I appreciate it. So that's why every time I get the chance, I hop up there with him. I roll around, more so to learn than to just be doing stuff with him. Haven't wrestled him or anything. We were on the same team the other month in a 4-on-4 elimination match. That was pretty cool. We didn't win, but
it's crazy how smooth he can be with some people, man. Like, you think about him. Like, do you know who Ben Chimera is?
I do.
So him versus Ben Chimera at FGW not that long ago. You think about a match like that, you feel like that him with his size, he might have struggles against, regardless of how big Ben Chimera is, he might struggle against someone of that stature. You know what I mean? But Pompano's smooth, man.
Dude.
He surprised you, man, every time.
One of the best, man. Absolutely.
We were there when he won that championship, man, and I've been a fan of him since way before there was even a remote chance of that. So it was cool to see him complete that. I was
very exciting. Very emotional.
Oh yeah.
I had such a feeling too once they played that long entrance theme with all his old entrance theme. I was like,
that was cool.
I was like, this means something.
Yeah. This means something. Feel like a WrestleMania package or something,
Yeah, I mean, well deserved too.
Absolutely.
I think that was the only title he hadn't won in the NWF. I think it was there 20, 21, 22 years at that point. And it's like, I mean, well deserved. Absolutely goes without saying. And obviously, brought some stock with his hype. Held the title for 500 plus days. So I mean, obviously, he was born to be heavyweight champ for a reason. So
yeah. I do love me some Nasty Russ though. But speaking of champs, how about Big Mama?
Oh man.
And finally after all these years, gets the title, and I mean what a title run, plus God, and she's being featured on NWA, and I mean she's all over the place, man. You're seeing Big Mama everywhere. I love seeing that for her. She's
another thing that's really well deserved.
Cool. Yep.
Big scenario of right place, right time, and again, it's well deserved. 18 years at the NWF and honing her craft down at Bone Crushers, and it's like you said, I think she's been champ. She's nearing a year now. Of course, she's defending it this Saturday, but yeah, man. So there's so many, funnily enough, hidden gems to come out of NWF, to come out of Bone Crushers that a lot of people don't know about. So I'm very happy when stuff like Big Mama getting featured on NWA and stuff like that. Guys like Lord Crew making the rounds everywhere. Someone I used to watch at the NWF. It's always cool to see that stuff, man.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's a matter of time before Crew gets signed somewhere. I'm surprised he hasn't already.
He's great.
Dude's phenomenal.
They loved him in Japan. I know that much. A lot of my people that I follow like a little Facebook group, and a lot of people that were in the area that are also in that group were talking about how much of a presence he has. I was like, oh, well, he's never coming back. He's going to be a Japan wrestler now.
Yeah, dude. Funny story. First time I ever met him at an NWF show down there in Ludlow. He wasn't on the card or anything. He was just there in street clothes and everything. And I didn't know who he was yet. And I walked up on him. I'm like, "You're either a professional wrestler or a tattoo artist." He's like, Lord or barber.
He definitely has that look about him.
Yeah.
Didn't Jesse say too? Like, doesn't that guy? He's probably a wrestler. He looks like a wrestler. And they're like, yeah, that's Lord Crew. He's like one of the most famous guys to ever come out here.
Pull up.
We didn't have a clue back then.
He absolutely passes the airport test for sure.
Yeah.
Walking through an airport, hey, that guy definitely does something of prominence.
Yeah. Yep.
He definitely, like you said, he's got that presence about him for sure.
Gotta hide his beard in a hoodie.
He's got a beanie on it.
That's nice until it's not.
That's an
invention. That'd be tough for him to ever do a run in. He'd have to like tuck it inside the hoodie and like come out and do a run in.
Yeah, do full lucha mask.
Yeah, there you go. With his beard sticking out the bottom.
How
could that be?
Roll it up.
Yeah. So obviously you're a younger guy. When was there something that got you into wrestling? A parent, a grandparent, or just saw it one day on TV, or how did that start?
So my family's always been a wrestling family. My dad grew up watching it. My brothers were into it when they were younger. I feel like they started growing out of it as they got older. But when they were younger, my mom and my dad used to take them, my two oldest brothers, to NWF shows. Funnily enough, at the old Bone Crushers and stuff like that. So that's a cool little piece of history there. There's what do they call it? There's a Polaroid picture on my fridge. It's got my two oldest brothers and then Anthony Bryant's in it, Pompano Joe, Stamp Lickage.
Stamp Lickage. I love that name every time.
It sounds like a detective's name.
Stamp Lickage. Stamp Lickage, the postman.
It's still just for me. I'm Sam Pickett. You know what I mean? Like it just sounds like a 40s.
Yeah.
Sam Lickage.
Did he have a move called like Return to Sender or something?
You know what I'm saying? You say it that way if you have a fucking magnifying glass on?
Yeah.
See?
Couldn't tell you.
Stamp Lickage, PI.
So was there a moment, whether it was at an NWF show or watching, WWE on TV, was there a moment that like really got you like, holy shit, this is it? I know you already talked about like going to an NWF show and you were like, I want to do this.
Yeah.
But what made you like a fan in the first place?
I didn't grow up watching wrestling. My first ever memory of it, and this is definitely going to age me. First ever memory of anything wrestling related at all. It was Seth Rollins was in the ring. He had a little suit on. And it was Triple H and Stephanie were there, and they were like presenting him with the statue. And they had the curtain over the statue, and then they were all in the ring. And then the curtain lifts up, and there's Sting standing there. I have no clue what my thoughts were. I was probably thinking, why is Eric Draven on the WWE? but no, that was my first ever memory of anything wrestling. And then I didn't get into it after that. And then my first memory of like consistently watching was the 2017 Royal Rumble and everything after that. Like I remember Orton throwing out Bray at the end, and then everything after that, I was watching Raws, I was watching SmackDown.
I was at that Rumble.
I was gonna say, weren't you at that Rumble, Steve?
San Antonio.
Yep. I'm from Texas, and when I was younger, I saw Stone Cold Steve Austin win that Rumble. So, go ahead, buddy. Come on in.
Leg.
He's bringing me a Red Bull, and he's so excited. He wants me to show these off because they're super sweet. Look, they got WWE slap bracelets, and they're
awesome.
That's dope.
Aren't they
fantastic? Love it.
And you got the super rare one.
Awesome.
All right, buddy. Thank you for bringing me the Red Bull. I appreciate it.
See you, Link.
Hey, Tech, like, can he bring you a Red Bull and show his bracelets? Yes, come on, buddy.
Oh,
that's dope.
Love it.
Nice cameo.
Yeah, that's his first time on the show.
Yeah.
Maya's been on the show before, but not Lincoln.
Maya's been on many times.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, that's
right.
you were saying that definitely shows your age, man. That was your
Seth
first
Rollins.
memory being Seth Rollins in a ring is like.
I always get picked on for being the youngest.
No, it's not a bad thing. It's just for us. I mean, Mike over there.
So,
What's your
what
first
year
memory
were
of
you,
wrestling, Mike?
What year were you born?
I was born in 2005.
Oh my God! I graduated the year after that. Oh my God!
I don't even have a 2 at the front of my age yet.
Holy shit! That's cool.
Yeah, man.
That's cool.
It's rough. It's rough out here. I'm too old for this.
I wish I had that mindset at that age. I really do. I wish I'd have had a determination to get some shit done and not be a lazy POS. You know what I mean? But
right,
I didn't have that, sadly. So
I have my nights.
I'll tell you what, that would actually be a really fun. I don't know if anybody's ever done it, but that'd be a fun gimmick for a really young wrestler to have like a grizzled veteran gimmick. Like I'm too old for this. I've been doing this so long, and just being like a shithead heel. And I just think it'd be great.
Isn't that Luke Larson?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's him behind
Luke
the
Larson thinks he's fucking Stan Hansen or something.
I gotta admit, as much as we give him shit, that dude's getting better every time I see him.
I heard he cut his mullet.
Did he?
Little bit. Got a little. It's about a little longer than mine.
The last time I went to an NWF show, which needs to be rectified, it was the last what do you call it? Swine City show right before it got cold. So it's been a minute, so I need to get out there. If you cut that mullet, I'm give him some shit.
We're back at Swine May 10th, so
Yeah, well, I'll definitely.
it'll be
sure.
nice and hot out.
We can go to Swine and get some hot blonde ale.
Yeah,
That's
our
true.
buddy Mullet
Mullet
Review
Review.
is getting his own
Yep.
beer there.
He's been on here before.
Yeah, he's been on here. He was in here commenting last night.
He's got his own merch coming out for Swine that I saw on their website. Which
Yeah.
is cool.
They're doing merch and they're doing his own beer, hot blonde ale.
That's dope, man.
That's so fucking funny.
We got to get cool enough to get a dad ale somewhere. You know what I mean? We gotta
Unfortunately, we will not be able to roll up to the NWF Rumble on 426 because we will be at Squared Circle Expo in Indianapolis. We have a table there. So
See,
that's kind of the unfortunate part. We just have so much going on, man.
Not a bad thing though, I don't think.
What were you gonna say, Mike? Sorry.
It's a good problem to have. It seems to always happen, man. It's like every show because I love the Ludlow shows. That is by far one of my favorite venues to see wrestling.
Best.
I still haven't been yet.
Oh, Burkus is great.
Is it still Burkus though? Is the brewery? Isn't the brewery sold or is it still going?
I don't know.
Is it? I don't know.
Break?
I didn't know it.
I do not believe I can comment on this at the time.
Okay.
Apologies, guys.
Oh, good.
He
I
bought
thought
it.
I heard it on the radio.
He bought it. The contract does say Drake, but it says Denver Drake.
Hey, hold on. Who's this guy? Our boy Dave. Where the water cooler is. You guys are. Yes, we are.
How'd they know?
That's correct.
Word at the water cooler is that you're best friends with CM Punk. So
That is true. CM Punk is.
him and Dave are like this.
I mean, Dave did have exclusive comments from CM Punk during some of his most tumultuous times recently. Yeah. So Dave's a famous boy for sure.
Famous Dave.
Here's a fun question. Are we talking currently or of all time?
We're talking just characters, like just goofy fuck. For me, I instantly think of like goofy shit. I go R-Truth. I think he's one of the greatest gimmicks of all time.
Yeah.
I think just the whole idea of him, I feel like he's smarter than he lets on. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So for him,
okay, here we go. All time. R-Truth is one of the greatest, longest running, best gimmicks ever. I'll tell you what, Timeless Tony Storm, of all time, might be one of the best gimmicks of all time.
And she's just starting.
Yeah.
Because she's so good at doing all that extra stuff and putting that into the character, and then fantastic in the ring as well. So I mean, it's kind of the perfect combo.
Yeah,
I think Bray Wyatt as well deserves to be up there in the all times. I think you talk about from the Swamp Father to the group leader to the Fiend to everything he did. You talk about the arc of a wrestler. He's really got a good one.
One of mine probably is, Foley. Well,
just Foley in general.
Road Warriors / Legion of Doom.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
those were
what a rush.
I just love Foley. I think if I had to pick my favorite Foley gimmick, though, it would probably be Rock and Sock. Just because it was so goofy. And like This Is Your Life and all that. It showed Mick's comedic side, and it really, I think, opened people up to this guy's, got a whole other side to him.
So that brings up a quick.
That's true too.
Question.
If Undertaker debuted in 2025, he would be as over as he is / was.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Do you find yourself Denver going back and like just watching old Raws to try to familiarize yourself with stuff that obviously that you weren't even alive for yet?
Here and there, like every now and then, me and some of the guys will jump in a group call and they'll be like, "Hey, let's watch Backlash 07," and they'll all be like, "Oh, I remember this, and this," and I'll be like, "I don't even know who that guy is." So those are typically just sessions of us watching stuff that they used to watch when they were younger, and me being like, "Oh, this is my first time seeing this," and then they're all like, "Oh."
I think the Rumble of 1992 is a great place to start, and then watch everything.
Is that Flair who won that one?
Yeah, that's Flair. In my opinion, I think maybe it's just because that's where I really started to get into it. But 92 on, like watching the goofiness turn into the Attitude Era in like 96, 97 was fucking magical, man. You know what I mean? I'm not one of those people that toots the horn of the Attitude Era that much, because there are parts of it that definitely suck. But the whole era of the 90s, man, that was such a cool time.
Watching the evolution of the promo from
Yes.
cartoon to realistic into the Attitude Era, I think is one of the matches, were what they were, but it was the art of, okay, here's cut and dry wrestling promo that's been around since the 80s, early 90s, and then the Attitude Era came and they started bringing reality into it, and it was like, oh, I believe everything this guy's saying.
Yep.
I believe character's important. I believe, like, if you look at like Val Venus, for example, I don't particularly care for this guy, but when he debuted, before he debuted, we got 4 weeks of him telling us who he was and telling us what he was about, what he was going to do when he got there. And I feel like that's lacking these days, man. Like, if we had more substance to each character, I feel like it would work.
They try to do that, I feel like, but it's not the same in the same kind of essence you're talking about, where it's like informational. It's kind of just a flash of some images and some music, and it's like coming soon, number 3.
Yeah.
Well, that's how I feel like that's how the Outrunners got so over. Like, yeah, obviously they're super fun in the ring and stuff, but like they're continuing to make all these promo videos and stuff. That's what's gotten them over. That's what's made, you see all that stuff, and then they come out to the ring and you remember all that, and you're like, oh, that's who these characters are.
That's look at Jack Vaughn.
Yeah, Jack Vaughn. Yep.
Yeah.
He was at one of our shows the other week. I didn't get to meet him.
Man, Jack's awesome. That dude, one of the nicest people we've ever met in this industry.
Hilarious. Naturally
funny. So funny.
Yeah.
That whole crew is him and Aaron Williams and crew and Dalton, all those guys that travel together, Jake Oman. I still remember there was a reel or whatever you want to call it that Jack made. And it was like that whole crew, and he like came in, he's like, who the fuck keeps stealing all my wrist tape? And then it just pans and it's crew just covered in wrist tape.
Yeah.
It's so great.
Oh.
No idea.
But yeah, man, I feel like there's a lot of stuff, and this is not me telling you what to do at all, but there's a lot of stuff, like he said, from like 92 on. You can watch the evolution of the promo, and then there's certain things in the early 2000s and mid 2000s that you kind of gotta cherry pick, because some of the stuff in the mid 2000s, let's be honest, sucked major ass. But there's some really good stuff in there, man. There's some really good stories. A lot of the Shield stuff was great.
Yep.
I honestly, when WWE really sucked, one of the things I really enjoyed, and I may be in the minority on this, was Rollins as the Monday Night Messiah. I thought
I liked that at first.
It was so good. But yeah, there's so much good stuff that you can get into. A lot of the early AEW promo stuff was awesome. The Hangman and Elite storyline that went on for a year was so fucking good.
The I need my big brother between Cody and Goldust. That was amazing. Probably the best first big match for them. I loved that.
Oh, it was awesome.
Those are probably the key moments I think of when I think of AEW, and those are however old now.
Right?
It's crazy. Speaking of, look who's in the comments down there.
There he is.
Oh,
cowboy.
Can we kick people from the streams? Is that a thing we can do?
I mean, he's not wrong, though. Anything Edge.
I love that he called him Durango Edge, because I know exactly what the fuck he means.
Number 95.
That was my shit.
And then we got a question for Denver. and all of you really, but do you feel pressure as a younger wrestler to keep up? And what are y'all's thoughts on that?
I was going to segue into that anyways when we were talking about Rollins because of the WrestleMania match, but that brings up a good point. Do you keep up with pro wrestling now?
I try to. I don't have as much time as I used to, obviously, but in snippets, I try to see what happens on your Mondays, your Tuesdays, or whatever, just to kind of have an idea. But more often than not, I watch older stuff. Like recently at the gym, whenever I'm on the treadmill, I just watch. I put on an episode of Saturday Night WCW. I'm on like 93 right now, but I try my best to keep my head in the current game. I don't know. See if I can.
So,
yeah.
What do you guys think is going to happen with this? Which is crazy that I'm this intrigued about it. But what do you think is going to happen between Roman, Punk, and Rollins? Who's like? You can't let it. Punk can't lose because he needs it big time. Roman, I think, could lose, but at the same time, I feel like it would affect his character. And I feel like if you do it, if Punk loses, it hurts him the worst.
I think it's the breakup of Wise Man and Tribal Chief.
I think it is too. I think he might go to Rollins. I think that might be the swerve. I think we might get Rollins and Wise Man.
Yeah. You think he's going to go to Punk and he doesn't?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then he ends up aligning with Rollins. That's the only way I feel like Rollins could lose and not lose some stature from him, because Rollins has been through a lot of shit over the last while, and he's lost a lot. And a lot of people say, losses really don't matter. Sure, they don't. But when you lose a lot, it starts to affect your character in a way. And I don't want to see the Architect lose much more.
And I'll tell you this, like to answer the question, like I did at first feel a lot of pressure when we started this show to like keep up, and I got to watch everything and all this stuff. Yeah. Now I'm just like, we don't really cover the shows anymore, so I don't feel as much pressure. Like I want to watch, I really do, but man, I just do not have enough time in the week. So if it's ever like a Sunday, I don't have anything going on, I'll catch up on, whatever happened throughout the week. If I see a clip that was like, oh, that was cool.
Yep.
I'll go back and watch an episode. Or if, a certain card stands out to me, I'll make sure I tune in. But I don't have enough. I mean, unless this is my full-time job, I don't have enough time in the week to
probably still not even then.
Probably then I still wouldn't even have.
It's every day of the week now is wrestling.
Yeah, that's that's kind of the I don't know what you call it, the blessing and the curse. We have so much wrestling to watch.
Oh yeah,
it's like we don't just have WWE. We have so much. Plus, obviously we love NWF. We love Wrestling Revolver, so we're super involved in that. And it's just like, what do I pick?
Plus, I feel like I get myself sucked into so many online federations. Like I like watching NPX now. Yeah. And NPX is based in Texas, and I'm never going to get to see NPX. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like I
don't never say never.
Yeah, you're right. I do have ties there.
I got peoples down there. Yeah. I read the wrestling pages like every day, several times in a day. So I always read results, and like even if I don't watch, just so I know everything that happened. And then plus all the always on social media, a lot for this. So, you're always seeing clips and people reposting things and whatnot. So I feel like I still catch a lot and keep up, even though I don't necessarily watch the entire program.
I think part of me too, kind of cooled off on keeping up with it so much because of the way the IWC is.
Yeah.
And it's fucking exhausting, man. With everybody bitching at each other, and I think that's what drew me to like NWF and Revolver so much, is I'm like, I can follow this, and everybody else that follows it loves it too.
Yep,
exactly.
Yep.
It's like I don't have to listen to, oh, did you see the attendance? Yeah, guess what? Every show we go to is fucking packed, so I don't give a shit.
Yep. That's like the Tony Storm thing. Every one of us agreed that Tony Storm is fucking awesome. But you get online, there's a fucking amalgamy of haters of Tony Storm, like saying she's the drizzling shit. That's the one part of the internet that I can't fucking stand. That's why when Triple H cut that promo 10 years ago, when he's like, me and my friend Mark are going to stop watching wrestling. I get it, man. It's fucking nonsense. Don't listen to these fucking people. We get our share of haters every once in a while. Look online and see a comment. These stupid assholes. No one cares. Okay. Your mom cares.
Mr. Asshole, thank you very much.
You know, I have my own opinions on everything. Like, honestly, I'm not super invested in WWE right now. There's, you know, for the longest time, I was so obsessed with AEW. And then there was a moment where I was like, okay, these stories aren't that good anymore. It's bringing me back in. I want to watch it more because there's a lot of characters that they're featuring that I am invested in. I'm fans of. You know what I mean? I'm not really a big fan of how WWE's done the stories for this upcoming Mania, but other people like it. But here's the thing: when you're a wrestling fan, you can like whatever the fuck you want to like.
Yep.
That's the whole point of it.
I think that's where we benefit from each other, Eric, because like there's things that I love about this particular Mania build that you don't, but at the same time, whenever I send you something, you're generally like, oh, that's pretty neat, or you know what I mean? Like, that we don't take that negative shit here. It's not about it.
We're not. Our group chat is not us bitching at each other for liking stuff.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
You know, it's crazy to me. And I know a lot of the IWC feels this way too. It's a very small minority that bitches and complains on both sides, on AEW, WWE, you know, whatever. But I'll tell you this, you know, I don't think I've ever watched a TNA and heard anybody bitching about that. That's always fun to watch, you know. It's just I think it's just the fact that AEW, you know, blew up out of nowhere. And then there were all these WWE defenders and then people that were in AEW that hated WWE. And it's just those people that have continued to bitch at each other. And a lot of the, you know, news sites, which, dude, there's a billion of them out there. I follow one, and that's Fightful, because I know those guys actually take it seriously. Everything else is pretty much aggregated at this point, and you know, people, they'll post articles that are just, you'll never believe what happened to Dynamite, and it's like, it's nothing, you know, there's no news whatsoever. It's just they do it for clicks. And that's one thing when we started this podcast that I said I never wanted to do. I never wanted to make stuff that was meaningless just to get a click. If we make some cool content, we're going to post it, and that's all there is to it.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. That's, like I said, there's a lot of things we disagree on, but what we do agree on, we have fun with. And that's why this Saturday we're driving to fucking Chicago to go catch Wrestling Revolver's debut in Chicago. There's some of them matches on that card that may not be my favorite match, but you bet your ass I'm going to scream like they all are. I'm going to go up there. I'm going to have a great ass time. We're going to go get some breakfast, drive to Chicago, and then get some pizza somewhere, and we're going to enjoy our fucking time because of pro wrestling.
There's always some.
Have you gotten to travel far yet?
Sorry?
Have you gotten to travel very far yet, or you just been basically?
Furthest I've gone was still in Ohio. I think it was for a fair show. I honestly forget the town name now, but it was for big time wrestling. Okay. Went out there, I announced. So I haven't wrestled very far. Everywhere I've wrestled has been NWF as of right now. Yeah. But who knows? Maybe soon. It'd be cool.
Is that a thing where you kind of like have to restrain yourself from like wanting to, I just want to get booked on everywhere? Maybe like be a little humble and be like, okay, I'm going to hone my craft for a couple years before I really start to travel.
Well, I'd say so. I still watch all my matches back, and I'm very nitpicky. And I'm like, okay, I got to work on that. I got to work on that. So I guess in a way, I'd probably feel a little uncomfortable going somewhere else as of right now, because I'd be like, I'm gonna go out there, but I still do this like this, and I guess it's more so also a respect thing right now.
Right.
Like, because I don't know. I feel like I enjoy what I do at the NWF, and I wear a lot of hats. And I have fun where I am right now. But I obviously have the thought in mind to go elsewhere. Just I don't think anytime soon. I enjoy the learning aspect, and I definitely have a lot to learn as of right now.
Well, and I mean, I can't tell you how many veteran talent that we've talked to that are like, man, if you're a young wrestler and you're not coachable, you're not going to make it.
Yep.
You're just not. So being coachable and being critical of yourself and accepting criticism is key. So
100.
and that's what I mean.
100%.
That's in any sport, whatever you want to call it. If you're not coachable, then you're only going to get so far. So that's good.
Absolute gospel.
So are you still
Bluetooth disconnected.
are you still doing the announcing gimmick too?
Yes. I'm in a weird boat right now. I've been wrestling more frequently on our main shows, but whenever an announcer is needed or anything, I'm always right there. I'm always the one selected to do that, and obviously I have no issue with that. I have all the thanks in the world to Raj and Kat and the NWF, so I will never look at a card rundown and not see my name and be like, oh well, because I always know I'm gonna have something to do no matter what.
Yeah.
Whether it's announcing, I always do commentary. I'd have no issue just watching the show. That's an NWF show. I used to do that all the time.
I mean, do you feel like, because I know it's something that Noah Gabriel had done before he really was also an announcer and commentator before getting into the ring. Do you feel like that's something that maybe helps kind of learn the ropes, if you will?
It absolutely helps you learn public speaking, being in front of an audience, promos, because something Noah taught me is being out there and mainly behind the camera stuff, like when I do Bustin' Loose and stuff like that. He taught me how it's going to essentially give me an eternal clock over time of like, okay, so I'm so used to hitting this time slot when talking about whatever, that when I start doing promos and I have a certain time that I'm given for them, it'll be easier for me to feel it out and know, okay, this much time has passed because of how many reps I've gone in front of a camera with a microphone doing stuff like that. So it definitely helps in the aspect of being in front of an audience, which I'm sure translates to the wrestling too. But yeah, promos and stuff like that, absolutely, it's helped me a lot. And I've gotten to do a few in the ring, and I've had absolutely no nervousness about them. So I thank Bustin' Loose and everything like that for not having any nervousness for stuff like that.
I feel like even doing this, and just talking into the camera, in my humble abode here, that it actually helps me too, because I'm much more comfortable. Not that I wasn't comfortable speaking up in front of people before, but definitely now it feels like, kind of old hat.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I like about this too. It keeps me social, like, because I feel like I don't add a lot of new people to my circle. You know what I mean? So adding you guys has helped me keep my circle open, if that makes sense. Like I'll let new people in more because I do something like this now. I don't know, people want to be fans of us, so I got to be friendly, right? You know what I mean? I got to go that extra mile, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know, Denver, if this is true to you too. I mean, because you're building a brand essentially, right? And the same thing, that we're trying to do, and it kind of makes you, keep your act together too, because you don't want to damage your brand or give any kind of negativity towards yourself, because that's just as important as learning the moves and how to hit the ropes is also what people essentially think of you.
Yep. I agree. I could do all the moves in the world. I could have all the charisma in the world, but if I walk through the curtain and all the fans know how I am behind the scenes and they think I'm an a-hole, then what's the point of it all? Right. I've obviously had some not as good days at shows for whatever reasons, but never once has a fan come up to me, wanted a picture, wanted to say hi, and I've turned them down. I've never done that. No reason to.
Unless you're super heel.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
There are ways around, but no, I mean something that Roger Ruffin has been preaching on recently. Pro wrestling doesn't owe us anything. We owe absolutely everything to pro wrestling. We are the 2% of people in the world out of 100% that get to go out and live their dreams every single week. So there is absolutely no reason where even on our worst day, we can go out there and we can essentially poo-poo in the fans' face that make it all possible for us. Absolutely no reason for it. Never once will you see me have a frown when I walk through the curtain.
Well, I mean, you work your ass off to get there, man. It's kind of that's your cake, and you'll eat it when you want to. You know.
I guess
We've said a lot too. Obviously we don't know, or pro wrestling doesn't know us anything, but man, it's really cool when we love pro wrestling and pro wrestling loves us back. Those little moments that, cool stuff happens because of pro wrestling. That's the sweet spot.
It's
right
awesome.
Yeah, we're getting more and more yeses from cooler wrestlers now.
Yep.
When we first started,
We got a yes from Denver Drake.
Well, you guys gave me a yes.
Yeah.
It's good. If anything, man, it's good. It's good practice, to get on a platform like this. It's live.
Yeah.
You never know what's going to happen. And, the conversation can go anywhere with us. So it's, it's good it keeps you on your toes.
I'd say so. This is my first time doing anything like this. So,
well, hey, that'll make it even cooler when you come back on as the NWF World Champion at some point.
Heavyweight champion. But
Hey,
who knows? Who knows? I mean, I've had a few tanglings with championships as of recently. Haven't been successful, but it's all right.
You're still learning,
man.
I guess so.
As the old folks would say, you're still wet under the ears. You know what I mean? So you're young. You know what I mean?
What does that
You
even
ain't
mean?
even got a 2 in front of
You
your
mean
age
one
yet,
can,
man.
Think about
That's
it.
true.
Mike.
That's true.
Why would someone be wet if they're young? Because they were just bored. Wet behind the ears. You said yes.
Ew.
Gross.
I'm sorry I asked.
I don't like that expression now.
Yeah. You got a little afterbirth behind you there.
Wet behind the ears. Took on a whole thing for life.
Why did they ever say that?
Still got a little placenta on you.
All right.
Feeling very verklempt. Discuss.
Verklempt is such a good word.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. I can't help it.
Mike, I'd like to see Mike Myers. He's came back to SNL this season a few times.
I have not seen any of it.
He does the Elon Musk for them.
Does he really?
Oh yeah,
That sounds
that's phenomenal.
awesome.
yeah. But he brought back Linda for like their 50th
Did he?
anniversary.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I need
it was the progressive era was neither progressive nor an era. Discuss.
I bet you were popping like yes.
Oh, I did. Yes, I totally did.
Oh, that's
That's
great.
my jam. That was great. If you haven't watched the anniversary show,
I haven't
man,
watched any of. I haven't watched.
It's on Peacock. It's definitely worth checking out. Lots of good callbacks. Pretty much everybody came back.
Yeah. There's a lot of cool shit from Saturday Night Live. You were watching any Saturday Night Live, Denver, or no?
I've definitely dabbled. Nowhere near enough as people tell me I should. I always get sent ones, and I always kind of forget about them. Like there was one The Rock did. He was doing a promo.
He was Bambi.
No, he was Coco.
Oh yeah,
That's when I like to quote a lot with AJV.
I like when he did The Rock Obama. Like Barack Obama would Hulk out and he turns into The Rock Obama.
I have not seen that one.
That's fucking hilarious.
There's the alien encounter one with Ryan Gosling, and
there's some good ones out there,
Yeah.
man. The old ones too. Phil Hartman.
Dude, when he did Beavis and Butthead,
oh, yep, I've seen that one. I've
that
seen
was
that one
so
as well.
good. That was so good. It had me crying. There's been some good ones, man. I still keep up with it. I watch it. It's part of my cycle of things that I watch, and it's some of it's all right. Some of it is really funny though. But like
So,
anything.
Denver, as we get close to our hour mark here, man, we don't have a ton of questions that we will ask everyone every time, but we have one that's very important to us for sure. And Mike generally asks that question. So, Mike.
You didn't say purveyor. Usually you say purveyor.
Oh, yeah. He's the purveyor of said question.
Thank you.
I know where this is going.
Us dads are very budget-minded individuals. And, you know, we like to gauge our guests on certain criteria. One of those is, what do you keep your thermostat set to, sir?
I got to think. It varies, but I don't think it varies a whole lot. But if I had to guess right now, it's probably on 69.
Nice.
Yes, nice.
Yeah, okay.
69 out of 10.
I passed.
Yeah. So we talked about it before we went live. I got to bring it up. Have you seen Ghost live? Or you?
I have.
Bro, that blew my mind. I saw Ghost live and had never listened to their music besides like randomly hearing a song.
That sounds like the best time to see them live when it's just right in your face.
It was fantastic. I went to Sonic Temple a few years ago. I think it was right before 2020, so I think it was 2019, and I saw them the same day I saw System of a Down.
Okay.
And I had no idea anything about Ghosts. I knew that my friends told me that it was real melodic music, and that it was not what I was probably thinking it was going to be. And they came out there, and I was like, okay, this is like anytime Ghost comes around, somebody's like, you want to go see Ghost? I'm fucking down. That was entertaining shit. It's not necessarily my cup of tea music all the time, but I do listen to it every once in a while.
Tobias has such a stage presence too. It's incredible.
And I think that's what won me over, was just their whole stage presence, their performance, the pageantry, if you will. It's like wrestling and music in a way.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, it really is. He would make a great manager.
Yeah, absolutely. All his fucking very charismatic is Tobias Forge.
Yeah.
Man, I tell you what, I hear the name Tobias and I just think of Tobias Funke from Arrested Development immediately.
Blew myself.
One of my favorite characters in all of television. Denver, if you've never seen Arrested Development, do yourself a favor.
Yeah, that one went over my head. I might. I've heard the name before.
One of the it only had it has 4 seasons now because Netflix picked it up, but it only had 3 seasons originally. It was on Fox, and it was one of the most well-written shows. And it was like almost a show that, like, if it came out now, it'd have 8 seasons. You know what I mean? Like, it was so well written, and I don't think everybody was like ready for it. It was almost ahead of its time a little bit, but it was such a good show.
That's the Tobias I think of.
Animorphs.
Yeah.
Man, I used to read those books like crazy.
I keep trying to get Kay Applegate on the show. She's turned us down twice. But she's supposed to start a book tour soon, and she's going to want to talk about her new book. Come on our show and talk about your new book. I just want to fucking ask you questions about this.
Third time's the charm.
They do. That's what I'm saying. They turned us down twice. Third time, I'm going to wait till she has the new book out. I was like, oh, you could come on and talk about the one and only Ivan.
It needs some media. There you go.
Out of it.
Yeah, come on, lady. Talk to me, damn it. Talk to me.
Hell yeah. Well, you boys got anything else before we wrap this thing up?
No, man. It's been a long week for me. 12, 14-hour days often this week.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to get off work tomorrow. I'm getting a new tire on my front left because it's been a little leaky, and we're going to Chicago Saturday, so I'm gonna go get me a new fucking tire right as soon as I get off work, and then I'm gonna get drinking off of dad water and then go to Chicago in the morning.
And then I will see you Saturday morning.
Are you not coming Friday night?
No, I'll just be there Saturday morning.
Guys, it's April. This is like the wrestling month. There's so much wrestling going on this month.
We have so much going on. It's going to be
so
awesome.
Absolutely.
Go out, catch your local indies, check out Northern Wrestling Federation and our boy Denver Drake here.
Yeah, buddy.
WrestleMania's coming. Squared Circle's coming. We got Wrestling Revolver shows coming. This month's packed full of stuff. It's going to be great. My birthday's coming. So,
Denver, you want to plug the upcoming NWF shows? What we got coming up?
Yeah, if you guys don't mind. Of course, this Saturday, it's our 4th annual all women's event, Revolution Rising 4, Grit and Grace. We're at MVP Athletics in Fairfield, Ohio. Tickets for that are online. And the week after that, Saturday, it's the big Future Stars show. It's Fight for the Future, our 7th annual one. At the VFW Post 1042 in Elmwood Place, Ohio. You'll see me in action. I'm teaming up with my good friend Beans. We're taking on the Axis of Power, Jack Phoenix and Axel Thorne, and it is no disqualification. Anything goes. And I mean, obviously, things have gotten a little heated between us four after both of our recent encounters. Jack Phoenix assaulting Beans and myself with that flagpole of his. I'm still kind of feeling the effects in my lower back, but I mean, no disqualification. I'm sure the Axis, they think they got this whole thing figured out. You know, they think it's their ballpark. But something they're not really thinking about is it's not like me and Beans can't get dirty. We just know the rules. But now there are no rules. They're throwing them aside. So if they think what they did to us the other week at Bone Crushers was bad, we're going to make it look like jaywalking at Fight for the Future. Let me tell you boys that.
Just because Beans looks nice don't mean he can't be mean.
Absolutely, man. He's a fighter, man. We both are. We know what it's like to get knocked down, but we always get back up again.
Yeah, I'm excited, man.
He's like the Rudy of NWF.
That's
awesome, and I absolutely agree.
Are you going to be at the Swine City show in May?
I will be.
All right,
it's very rare you won't see me at an NWF event.
I'll have to get me a Denver Drake shirt. And we'll do a shirt video together. And
yeah, sounds I'm glad we did this, man. Now you're not just a name we see on, online and stuff and liking and sharing our stuff, which thank you for doing that. We appreciate it. Like we appreciate everybody that does that. But I'm glad we finally got together and do this. That way, next time we see each other, we know each other.
Yeah. Hey, we did that thing that one time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that thing. But this thing.
The other thing. Yeah, I've been wanting to come on for a while, and I've been wanting to get. That's for next time.
Yeah, my Durango, number 95.
But no, I'm very happy I got to get make this happen. Fight for the Future was coming up, and I thought we're better to go than to the dads to help promote it. And of course, we got to talk along the way, and it was fun. It was a good time, man. I'm very glad I reached out to you guys. This is awesome.
Are you coming out to Squared Circle at all? Oh, no, wait, never mind. We already discussed that. You're going to be wrestling.
Yeah, you'll be at the Rumble.
I won't be there.
Well, either way. We
We
got some free merch for you whenever we see you next.
Hey, by all means.
But yeah, speaking of free merch, if you want one of these new keychains that we got that are the size of my fucking palm.
Oh my lord.
If you have a problem losing your keys, get you a humongous big old keychain from the Dad World Order.
Really cool new design. Look at that grill. The grill
I love that.
is the world. Yeah.
And the meat is the continents.
Yeah.
That's dope, dude.
And dads we trust.
But yeah, we'll have these for free. All you gotta do is come say hi to us. You could,
and subscribe.
Yeah, you guys subscribe. Being fucking subscribed. I'm hitting you with this big ass keychain.
I'll leave
you
a
might
mark.
catch a charge on that, homie. You might catch a charge. It's big.
Oh
man.
Great.
Hey.
Well,
Denver,
thank you so much for coming on, dude. This has been an absolute blast. We'll definitely have to have you back on as your career progresses.
I'd love to, man.
Absolutely. And as always, we've been the DWO Podcast. I am Big Rig Eric Mampy. He is Mr. Magnificent Mike Martin. He is the wrestling t-shirt guy, Bo Cephas. And he is the one, the only Denver Drake.
Gem.
As always, you can check us out on all the socials at DW_podcast, Facebook at the DWO Podcast, TikTok at DW_pod. Get that dad merch at Pro Wrestling Tees, TeePublic, or message us directly. We can send it to you. Pretty cool. Like, subscribe, listen, follow, share, tap the bell, all that good stuff. And until next time, Top Dads out.